Welcome to a special episode of RezX where we'll be talking about entrepreneurship and business. But don't worry, we're going to get to Cadmus and Aaron in just a second. But first, my name is Chris Tyrone Ross and I am the founder of RezX. And throughout the show, we're going to be talking about business and entrepreneurship and sharing some of our secrets. So as the founder of RezX and somebody that has 19 years of experience as an entrepreneur, I wanted to share some of my advice. So before we get the show started, I quickly want to share with you one of the most important things, which is about your vision. When I was 19 years old, I was interviewed by a local newspaper where I was quoted as saying that it takes a clear mind to focus on a vision. And what I meant by that at the time was you have to clear your mind of alcohol, of drugs, of negativity, and clear of people that don't believe in you. Negativity, everything. You have to clear that all within your mind so that you can have focus on a vision. So that's really the most important, one of the very most important things, because those are certain things that can really cloud your vision. Just like imagine looking outside with dark clouds. You can't see the sunshine. You can't see everything that's in front of you. Once you clear that out, then you can see far like an eagle. You can see exactly how your dream is going to come together, how your vision, you know what's going to happen. So anyways, that's what I wanted to share with you today for our entrepreneurship episode. So with that, let's get on with the show.
This episode of RezX is brought to you by SIGA, the Saskatchewan Indian Gaming Authority.
Welcome to RezX, an Indigenous lifestyle show for everyone.
My name is Cadmus Delorme.
And I'm Aaron Goodpipe.
Now that we've just seen Chris Ross talk about entrepreneurship, that's what this episode is all about.
So with that, in the spirit of entrepreneurship, let's get down to business. First up is SIGA, Saskatchewan Indian Gaming Authority.
SIGA is a First Nations company, has really become part of what I'll say is the economic fabric of this province. We're owned by communities that there's a lot of need out there and there's a lot of need for development. The employees have taken charge through an employee volunteer program and they pick partner charities to work with throughout the year. So as a First Nations organization, we're here as a nonprofit to help as many people as we can.
Zane, along with a lot of other leaders in SIGA, have taken SIGA to many new heights. Did you know that SIGA has 6 casinos in Saskatchewan and has been operating for over 20 years?
Wow, and did you know that they're the largest First Nations employer in Canada, boasting over 65% of their employers First Nations?
Nice, and they got some really good values with Taskowin, sharing the land, sharing the resources, Pimichahawan, making a living. I worked at a SIGA casino at one time.
Did you?
Yes.
When was this?
Many moons ago. I was a card dealer. I dealt blackjack, poker, roulette.
Oh, that's where you got your skills.
They took me as a little cheeky little res kid, dusted me off, invested many skills and training into me and set me on my path to where I am today. One of them being a host of RezX.
Nice. And I know that they really got a really community feel to it. There's they employ over 2,000 First Nations people, so that's a lot of Nichis.
That's
a lot of cousins.
A lot of cousins. You know, they give back to the community. You know, they volunteer, they donate. There's a lot of different things. If something's going on good in this province, SIGA is most likely a part of it.
Yeah, they're always on board with that. So thank you so much, SIGA, with sponsoring the RezX Season 2.
Thank you. Continuing on with the show, Blue Door Recording is a local recording studio here in Regina. It is where RezX does its music segments, as we'll see later in the show. RezX was there. Let's check it out.
Hi, my name is Ellie. I am a music producer from London, England, now working in Regina's Warehouse District as music producer at Blue Door Recording Studio. The first time I came to Canada actually was for a wedding, and a wedding that took place here in Regina, Saskatchewan, of my very good friend, and I hadn't anticipated it, but what happened during my visit is I became a little bit in love with this small and obscure place called Regina, Saskatchewan. So Blue Door Recording Studio is a music studio situated in Regina's Warehouse District, and what we do here is we produce music. We record music for musicians, singers, and bands. And we're fortunate enough to have had clients who vary from the new singer or basically a newbies to people who are more seasoned and professional, working, touring around the world and in Canada, who also have songs on the radio. And some of those songs have been recorded and produced from this recording studio. But this is our control room. You'll have a look around and you can see that it's a unique room. There are no parallel walls in this control room, and the control room is where the music producer works, myself, would work to make that music magic come to life. The production value is added here. You know, the things that you enjoy to hear on the radio when you go into your car and push on that button and turn up the volume. Some of those swooshes and the harmonies and the lead vocals and the rip-roaring guitars, all of that stuff originates from a studio like Blue Door Recording Studio. The way that it works usually is that a client, a musician, a singer, a band, they would come to us with either a need or music idea that they'd like to execute. And my job as a music producer is to help fulfill that vision from their head into reality, into something that you as a music fan can listen to and appreciate. It's your dream. It's your responsibility to keep it alive and to keep nurturing it and to feed it and to pursue it, because people in the world need the dreamers and the doers like you. So if you find yourself as somebody with a passion in them for music or anything else for that matter, I'd say pursue it regardless of the outside pressures and influence. Ultimately, it's going to bring you the most happiness.
In the fashion of ResX Season 2, we are featuring the recipients of a Proud Generation calendar. Here is this week's role model.
Renee Pitawanaquit. I'm from Cowsis First Nation. I'm currently an LPN, but I'm also a U of S nursing student. I'm going towards my BSN in nursing. When I found out I was selected, I was pretty excited and proud, I guess. I remember looking at the calendars when I was growing up and wanting to be in them, and so when I found out I was in it, it was pretty awesome. If I had to give advice, I'd tell them to never stop learning. Take every chance you can. Take challenges, even though it makes you feel uncomfortable. Push through it and push through those challenges and keep going. No matter what, you can always fight for what you want.
Don't go too far. We will be right back. But before we go, here is some entrepreneur advice from the one and only Chris Ross.
Hello, Chris Ross here again, owner of RezX, with another entrepreneurship tip for those of you wanting to start a business. One of my favorite quotes that I have to say comes from Michael Jordan. I'm reading this book right now. It's such an amazing book. And one of the things that he had said was about failure. He said, I have failed over and over and over again, and that is why I succeed. Michael Jordan played basketball for many years in the NBA before even winning his first championship. So he went through the struggles. He went through losing many times before he could become the greatest of all time. Now, in my 19 years of business, I can relate to this because I too have failed over and over and over again. Now, I'm not saying I'm the Michael Jordan of business, but what I can tell you is that I've learned from those failures as well. So for anybody that really wants to go out there and start a business, my best advice is be prepared to fail and fail miserably. And don't be scared to fall, and don't be scared to make mistakes, and don't be scared to make those risks, because it's all part of the process. You can't be somebody that's just hugely successful and that is doing very well, and you can't be that person without failure, because failure humbles you. Failure puts you at the very bottom, and that makes you climb all the way out to the top in order to succeed again. Me, I've never given up. Never given up. I've always kept trying, regardless of everything that has been thrown against me. And that is one of the greatest lessons I can teach you. I'm not here because I just decided I want to do a TV show. I'm here because of 19 years in the media business, and now I can finally start doing television. So anyways, that's my advice today, and I want to thank you, and let's continue on with the show.
Let's make 2016 the year of you. Try to exercise daily. Yes, access hyperspeed internet surfing counts. Push yourself. Binge watch an entire season of that TV show. Remember that tomorrow starts today. Once you set your PVR to record, and always feel the burn of insanely fast access hyperspeed internet. Find out more at technologythatworks.ca.
This year marks the 10th anniversary of Access Communications TV Bingo, and we're giving you even more chances to win. Cards are just $12 and are available wherever you see the TV Bingo sign. All proceeds go to the Access Communications Children's Fund. If you're looking to have some fun, win some cash, and support a great cause, play TV Bingo. Saturdays at 5 p.m. only on Access 7.
Welcome back, guys. Nichi Gear is one of Saskatchewan's biggest clothing lines. RezX was there to catch the grand opening in Saskatoon.
Feels good to get into a different space. We finally have some warehouse space, storage space, office space, so all the things that we needed now we have. We're now located at 718 Circle Drive, East Saskatoon, so we're in a pretty awesome location with high traffic.
I like the location, and it's easier to get here. I'm not from the city, so.
Alright, and what did you buy?
I bought a sweater and a shirt for myself.
And what did you buy today?
I bought a Nichi Gear sweater, and it fits perfectly and nice color.
You like it?
I love it.
New location, we're hoping to expand our online sales, our wholesale sales, and obviously our retail sales. So there's 3 different ways that we funnel our retail. So we're hoping to focus on all 3, and we'll see what happens. I think amazing things are ready to happen for us.
We will be right back, but before we do, Mr. Kendall Netmaker, owner and operator of Nichi Gear, has some entrepreneur advice for you. Don't go too far.
Hello
Hello, my name is Kendall Netmaker. I'm an entrepreneur and motivational speaker and the owner of Nichi Gear, a lifestyle apparel brand that empowers you through sports. We sell everything from men's and ladies' street and sportswear, and at the same time, we contribute a portion of our profits every single year to help kids to take part in sports. Now, we've had a lot of success over the years, and people ask me, Kendall, what does it take to become successful? Well, I want to share with you 3 things that have helped me. Number 1 is to make a choice. One day I made a choice that I was going to create an amazing brand. I didn't care what it would take, how many obstacles I was running into. I made a choice one day that I was going to do it. The second thing is I became obsessed with it. I was working every single day towards achieving my dream. Every single day, not every other day, not when I felt like it. There was times when I didn't want to show up, but I showed up. And that's the kind of grind you have to have and have to want and need and so on. So you need to become obsessed. Number 3 is you need to stay inspired, because on this road of following your dream, following your goals and ambitions, you're going to have obstacles. And if you don't have the right people around you, it's going to be very tough to achieve them. So you need to eliminate negativity from your life. Bring new people into your life. Find people who inspire you and hang with those people who you look up to. Bring them into your life, because once you have them in your life, you'll be able to achieve your dreams so much faster. So number 1 is make a choice today that whatever it is that you choose to do with your life, it's going to be amazing. You're going to find your gift. You're going to use that gift to propel you to achieve your ultimate dream. Number 2 is you're going to become obsessed. You're going to work every single day towards achieving your dream. Not every other day, every single day. Obsessed. Number 3, you're going to stay inspired. You're going to listen to motivational messages. You're going to read books that'll help you. You're going to hang with those right people in that right circle. Hang with winners every single day, and you will achieve your dreams. Because I know you will.
When First Nations and Métis women get together, what don't they talk about? There is humor, laughter, and serious moments. The 4.
Since I've started here, SIGA has been amazing. It was the first summer I was here. We had no funding for our summer programs, and there was nothing, and it was just like, oh no. And SIGA just jumped up. We got this. We got you. What do you need? They know what we do here. They know why we do it. And so it's moments like that where they always have been there for us that makes that partnership just so integral.
Hey guys, Shane Bellegarde is the lead singer of the Snake Oil Salesman and also one of RezX's very own head writers. He is the first artist featured in RezX's new feature called ResX Sessions. Check him out.
My name is Shane Bellegarde, and I'm from the Little Black Bear First Nation. I'm based out of Regina, where I'm currently a youth care worker, but in my spare time and the time I'm having the most fun, I'm the lead singer for a band called the Snake Oil Salesman. Our band kind of formed because we're a bunch of guys who all grew up in small towns or in First Nations in small town Saskatchewan. And so we all had in common the fact that we grew up listening to country music and rock music. You could find Johnny Cash and Guns N' Roses, or AC/DC and Waylon Jennings would all be at the same party. And so we all grew up listening to this combination of music that we knew of, that told stories and that we connected with. It made us have a lot of fun. And when we first met each other and started having a lot of fun together, that was the one thing that we had in common, and we've really bonded over that. Well, you know, being an independent artist is very tough. It's hard, and that's why I think a lot of artists have jobs in the daytime that pay for their artistic habits, whatever they like to do, whether they're painting or whether they're telling stories or they're a singer or a songwriter. They usually have something else that helps pay the bills first, and that makes it a lot tougher, but it also shows who loves their job a lot more, because if you're still out there struggling washing dishes or tending bar or working construction just so that you can come home and unleash your creative side, I think that shows how much drive and passion that you have for it. And every member of our band all has other jobs that we use to pay the bills, but having that release at the end of the day is something that's fantastic. And I think that's what is shown in our music, that we still have a passion for the music even outside of what we do. Well, the song I'm going to be performing today is called Can't Complain, and this song is very important to me because it's a song about the last time I had a chance to speak with my grandfather before he passed away. he was someone who was very important to me in my life, and it was very hard for me to see him going through the last stages of life and nearing his end, and it was hard for him as well, but I had a chance to talk with him, and he left me with a piece of advice that I'll never forget, and it was basically, I can't complain. You know, he had a rough life. He had lots of different things that happened to him in his life, as we all do. We all go through many different things, but I think that's just a great attitude to have, no matter what you go through, to think, you know, no matter how bad I have it, I can't complain. There's other people that have it off way worse than I do, and I try to live my life that way now, and I think that hearing that straight from him is something that I'm very proud of, and I hope that I can share that with other people. I think music is very important, and I think storytelling is very important. Storytelling is definitely a part of our culture, and it's a way that we hand down knowledge, and we hand down love, and we hand down thoughts and compassion and feelings that we've had in our time and space in the world. And I think that it is important, and I thank you guys for giving us a chance to pass on these stories, and I hope that other people want to pass on stories as well.
The time had come for settling down. I needed some advice. I went to see my grandpa. I said, how do I do this right? He smiled and he said a spell as his memories took him back to a diamond in his pocket, working up the courage to ask. He finally pulled over on a lonely gravel road. He'd been hinting for weeks, and she watched it all unfold. His nerves overtook him, and the words, they barely got through. But he handed her a box and said, this is for you. If I could do it again, boy, I'd do most things the same. I learned from my mistakes, there ain't a reason to change. I'd like a few more days and another shot with that ring. But when I look back at my life, at my kids and my beautiful wife, all things the same, I can't complain. He said it's amazing all the change my eyes have seen. And though I've never traveled far, there's places that I've been that are mine forever. Oh, 'cause they're a long time gone. Homes we built and lost as the prairies have moved on. Yeah, I've worked hard here, feeding my family with my back, making up with love for anything that we lacked. I never could have been a lawyer or an uptown businessman. Now I'm glad I built our life with the strength of my two hands. If I could do it again, boy, I'd do most things the same. I learned from my mistakes, there ain't a reason to change. I'd like a few more days of hard work on these plains, but when I look back at my life, at my kids and my beautiful wife, all things the same, I can't complain. He never tired of working, but the smoking slowed him down. He took me on a drive with him on my last trip through town. Well, up into his garden, where they told him that nothing would grow. And we worked in silence there, among the beautiful rows. And when I got the courage, he sat and lit his pipe. And I told him how lucky I was to be a part of his life. And then I took his picture, oh, I was hoping he'd stay in that frame. But life life doesn't work that way. At least he had a chance to say, if I could do it again, boy, I'd do most things the same. I learned from my mistakes, there ain't a reason to change. I'd like a few more days and this garden could use a little rain. But when I look back at my life, and you kids and my beautiful wife, I'd do it all over again and I'd never complain.
So Cadmus, what does entrepreneurship mean to you?
Entrepreneurship, it has so many meanings. Being your own boss. We're all entrepreneurs. We make our own decisions every day. Entrepreneurship could mean, like what Siga does, Pimichahawit, making a living with Saskatchewan, sharing the resources. We're all entrepreneurs in our own way, but from a business perspective, ultimately to me, it's about being your own boss, being happy with what you do.
I really liked what Chris Ross shared with us about, having your own vision and seeing that through, because I think that's the spirit of entrepreneurship, is sort of having that vision, having that goal, having that dream, and going after it no matter what. Right?
Exactly. And what Chris Ross showed me is that business doesn't happen in a day. You grow it one day at a time. And Chris has been doing RezX, has been doing magazines for years, and to grow it to this point, that is entrepreneurship. Just like Kendall Netmaker.
Yeah, for sure.
Nichi Gear.
Nichi Gear, yeah, they're doing such good stuff, but they're hard at work on it, right? Constantly. So I know that people sort of get the idea that being your own boss is the dream, but it is a lot of hard work. So shout out to all those entrepreneurs.
For sure. I see dedication. You have to be a self-motivator. There's many different keys in it. But
kicks in the butt.
Yes.
Sure, So what about you? If you could open a business or do anything entrepreneur, what would you do?
I would like to sell. I'd like to get into restaurants.
Really?
Everybody likes to eat out. 85% of people eat out at least once a week in Regina. And we need, you know what we're missing in the city? An IHOP. I love IHOP. So that if I was to get into entrepreneurship, I'd get into restaurant.
Really?
Yeah. Yourself?
Awesome. Honestly, I think I'd go into fashion.
Nice.
A kind of dream of mine was always to be a designer and sort of design clothes and sort of do it in a traditional sense, honoring that cultural representation.
Like suede? Like I can come buy like a piece of suede
I'll
here?
get you a nice loincloth. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. We have so much business people in the First Nations community.
Yes. Yeah. So until next time, this episode was about entrepreneurship. If you are an entrepreneur, keep it up. If not, there's a lot of opportunity.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
11 different First Nations communities representing Cree, Saulteaux, Dakota, Lakota, and Nakota nations. So there's different communities and from all different parts of southern Saskatchewan that